everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is Sunday, September 14, 2014, and another fake beheading. British citizen David Haines killed by ISIS. And at this point, these fake beheadings are growing tiresome and less entertaining by the hour. Again, I like to piss people off, the general public, by asking critical questions, just thinking out loud here. And this is something that America and all Britons should be asking themselves. Why would ISIS, an entity that is winning the war in places like Iraq and Syria, dominating that part of the world right now, creating the caliphate that they've envisioned, taking over vast swaths of land and militarizing this area, instituting the radical Islamic law that they intend, why in God's green earth would they be antagonizing the giant that makes up the West, America, and this part of the world, only so that they could be attacked? I asked the same question when the shenanigans in Syria were taking place around the falsified Ghouta chemical attacks, which we learned that the United States, although it was blaming Bashar al-Assad and his government, because of course Assad has always been the target of the United States, and that's why they've been propagandizing these events. Why would Assad, who's winning his own war in Syria, taunt America with a chemical attack, this humanitarian crisis at the time that America was pitching to us? Why would he do that only to meet his own demise? Only to antagonize America so America could just conveniently attack him and his country. And again, there is no reason why Assad at the time would do that. If he was winning his own war, he's not going to encourage his own doom. Just like ISIS, there's no reason for them to encourage the United States to attack them. They're winning in this part of the world right now, and it's exactly why these beheadings and these fake killings are what they are, fake. And they're being used as propaganda by the United States federal government in order to justify Barack Obama's war. A president, by the way, who's lied to us on every level imaginable. Again, running in 2008 on a campaign of hope and change in anti-war in Iraq. Now is at war in Iraq. He's also at war in Syria. He's been in war and at war with Libya. And as Pope Francis mentioned over the weekend, this is piecemeal World War III. In these events, these fake beheadings of journalists, people like Jim Foley, Sotloff, and now Haines, all propaganda pieces in order to encourage and embolden support of the general public for war. And again, all of these events highly post-produced. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if the CIA was running the cameras and the sound and creating these sets and also orchestrating these events from afar or perhaps on location. Again, because this galvanizes public support. There's been independent third-party forensic analysts that looked at the original Jim Foley beheading and called it a fake. Now, it's not to say that these people weren't killed, tragically, and that Jim Foley isn't tragically dead, Sotloff tragically dead, Haines tragically dead. But the question we need to ask, is ISIS behind it? Is it actually ISIS instituting these beheadings and spreading fear for all the world to see? Again, what motive does ISIS have in encouraging the United States to attack them when they're winning the war in Iraq and Syria right now? There would be no logical reason. There would be no strategy behind it. And according to the Obama administration, this is a very, not only radical organization, but very well organized, with two former Saddam Hussein generals at the very top of ISIS, organizing and creating this caliphate in this part of the world. So why would a highly organized and very strategic army, why would they encourage the United States and their own demise? Why would they encourage an attack in the first place? And the obvious answer to that question is they want it, because it makes absolutely no sense. And Pope Francis is correct in stating that we do have and are in the midst of World War III today. But I would argue it's not a piecemeal World War III, what we're seeing in Ukraine, what we're seeing in Syria, what we're seeing in Iraq. This is the full-fledged, epic battle. This is something that many people have been speaking to, that is biblically been prophesized, that historians point to. Whether or not you're coming from a religious perspective, an economic perspective, a spiritual perspective, a sociological perspective. All of it is leading to the same event, which is what we are engaged in now. Not only massive propaganda campaigns on both sides, but a full-fledged epic battle, the World War. And that's the reality, and that's the truth of what we live here in 2014. I'm Christopher Green. Get this video out everywhere, make it viral, hard-hitting it in your face, and click the link below to support our sponsor.